Hello, everyone, and welcome to Red Heaven, our Heart of the City Beneath actual play here on High Shelf Collective. I am your games master, Doc Rimbo. I use he, she, or they pronouns, and I'm once again joined by just a bunch of freaking troublemakers who are here to delve into the weird and strange dimension beneath the city of Spire. And so, if you are here to follow along with us and join in, then we are glad to have you. Let's see, where do we start? What happened last week? Last week, there were kebabs. We'll just get that out of the way right away.
Indeed.
Just right out of the gate, there were kebabs. The party of delvers, who I don't even know what to call these jokers, found themselves in High Rise, a settlement within Heart that is basically the top several stories of a bunch of high-rise buildings, which impossibly exist far under the ground. Because below those top stories, it's just ghosts. It's just ghosts and swirling mists and weirdness. So they were surrounded by a marketplace and people from different cults. They came across a factory by a group called the Ptolemy Bay Company, who are building guns and selling them throughout the Heart. And then they met some Aelfir who, just like they are in Spire, were just horribly they're just horrible people and racists, and we're there to basically be colonists and have a little party and just you know for the curiosity of being in a strange place. And so the group was hired to run security for this party. But I mean, as time goes on, we like these people less and less. So who knows what's going to happen after things finally officially kick off. But before we get to that, let's go around and meet our crew once more. We're going to start at the bottom this week. We're going to start in the southwest corner of the screen. And everyone tell us who you are, what character you're playing, what class they are. And then I'd like you to tell me about someone you care about who's either dead or in character, or someone who is close to you who maybe it would be okay if they weren't alive. So take your pick, your character, someone important to them who's died, or someone who is important to them that you could do without. So let's start with Benji. Benji, you are down there at the bottom of my screen. Welcome, Benji. Tell us, everyone, who you are and who you're playing tonight.
Hi, I'm Benji, and you can find me online at Chance47 on all the various socials. I'm experimenting with Instagram, apparently. Um, and I am playing Toby, who is a dead walker. He's a spooky little gay boy. And
Spooky little gay boy.
spooky little gay boy. And someone who died in Toby's life is pretty much all of his childhood friends. So no big
That's
deal.
not depressing.
No big deal, but pretty much all of his childhood friends. And what's survivor's guilt? What is that?
I don't know. I'm really regretting this question. It's a real downer, but thank you, Benji. We're glad that you're here. Let's go over to our friend Derek. Derek, tell everyone who you are and who you're playing. Tell them about your little boy, your big little boy.
My big little boy, my old little boys. We have Winds to the Wind is my character's name. He is a Vermissian knight, and which means that he's just a big armored boy with so much interdimensional train pieces on him. He's like a weird Lego man, the weirdest Lego man. And to answer your question,
has he lost anyone, or would he like to?
Yeah, well, no, he definitely would like to lose a few more people, judging by how much he hates everybody that he's ever been associated with. But realistically, it's more or less he does know somebody that he preferred that he didn't want to know. He
Who's
knows
that?
one of the most prolific gamblers in the entirety of the Magicore Casino, and the man himself does nothing but brag about all of his winnings and earnings, and he's just insufferable.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. That's good to know. Okay. All right. Good. Well, I'm glad that we got that piece of information. I'll tuck that away for later. Let's go directly above you to my friend Sid. Hi, Sid. Look at your hyena spots.
Nice.
Look at your spots.
Look at spots. Hi, Doc. Hey, yeah, I'm Christina Sid. You can find me on the internet at Greek Sid. I am playing Jazzy. Jazzy is a Knoll heart song deep apiarist, aka the bees.
Please.
And well, Jazzy's been in the heart for a while, and she, in fact, lost her entire Dolphin party a few years
Ooh.
back. So yeah, they're
Once again,
all
questioning my choice here to ask this question, but
they
okay.
all they all gone. Gone, disappeared,
Well,
or dead.
most of them are dead or gone.
Most of them are dead and gone.
There's
Correct.
one who's still
There
alive.
is one. There is one.
Okay.
Secrets.
Secrets.
But yeah. But you
And
know,
she's a hyena person.
and
Filled with bees.
Jessie's a knoll. She's a hyena person. Spots. That's me.
Fantastic. RJ, depress us further. Tell us who you are, who you're playing, and tell us about death.
Okay, I'll depress you further by giving everyone a
Thank you.
big hug. Hello, everyone.
Oh.
I'm RJ. Catch me at RJS282 on all the socials. Today, I'm playing Shoebill, who is the junk mage of the party. Someone he's okay. He lost his mentor,
Oh.
and it is very very clear how much he cared about them in the way that he speaks about them. Normally he speaks flippantly about everyone, but there is a fondness in his voice when he talks about them.
Interesting. Would the rest of the group, you guys have been together for a while, would they know about this?
He's
They know.
probably spoken about where he's from and like, oh yes, I'm pretty learned. I had a mentor and everything. Daddy's money and all that.
All right, what a fancy little wizard junk mage lad. Fantabulous. Let's go up. Ali, I know that you've got one. What are you sharing with us?
Yeah.
Ali, tell us who you are and who you're playing.
Hi, my name's Ollie. I play Elric, the human witch, or to be more specific, the man witch. And he has
Witchman.
the witchman. Yes, he has
Yes.
lost his wife. That is his reason for existence. So yeah.
Oh yeah, well, so nothing said there.
Yeah, that's it.
Super duper. Yeah, that's great. And then finally, Amber, please have something cheerful.
Yes, that's the giggle we like to hear.
Hi, everybody. My name is Amber. Pronouns she, they. You can find me anywhere there is internet at the Space Chamber. I am an Emmy winning TTRPG writer, editor, podcaster, and streamer. I am playing. This week I am bringing to you Anais Piaget, who is a drow heart song witch.
Not a man witch.
Not a man witch. An it witch.
An it witch? A witch it?
Anyway.
Ooh.
So what happened was, Anais is the youngest of 6 daughters. Her oldest sister, is dead but isn't. So, her oldest sister faked her own death. But Anais has to move. Is the only one of the siblings that knows she's not actually dead. Guinevere.
Does the rest of the
So
party know this?
no.
All right.
Oh.
All right. Well, now I
Does
do.
that count?
So
Do
I
I?
think that definitely
Do I have
counts,
to
and
make
I
up
love it.
somebody else that's actually dead?
Nope. I love it.
Okay.
I love it. And for those of you watching at home, you might be asking, "Hey, Doc, why start with a question like this?" Well, the heart's a weird place, and and it's a tough place to live. And a lot of the delvers who go down into this weirdness, well, they might lose people, or probably will lose people sooner or later. But is it such a weird place that we can go back and rewrite the past, or find something that was lost? I don't know. Last week, one big thing that I forgot to mention is that we had a visitor from the future, as somebody ran up on RJ's character, Shubil, in the middle of the market and tried to assassinate him for something he hadn't done yet. The only connection that the group has so far is that he's part of something called the Gwyn Ardasi Cabal, which isn't ringing a bell for me there, except there, it has something to do with the Vermissian project, the big mass transit system that pierced the heart and released the weirdness and has never actually functioned. So, who are these people, and who's this guy, and what do you all have to do with it? We'll find out tonight. We can picture high rise surrounded by the swirling, arcane, ghostly mists beneath it, under a starless sky, underground. And on one of those buildings, maybe a few floors down from the top, one or two, pretty near the top, there is a space that used to be a penthouse. It has an open balcony, maybe a veranda around it, where the people inside can go out and in better times would look, out onto the city, you suppose was here a long time ago. But now that veranda is the entry point because all the buildings here are connected by rope bridges and ladders and zip lines. And as the main point of entry, your group has been stationed there by an Elfir, a high elf named Celadon. I look upon thee with joy unendurable, an insufferable, pompous drow who works for what he says, who he says is an important and powerful Elfir in the city, upon whose behalf he's hosting this tourist party. And so all of you stand outside there. There's no windows inside, but you can hear the sounds of merriment and conversation and partying starting to kick off through the door. And you're left out here to guard. What are you guys doing as you all stand out on this veranda on the balcony?
There is the smell of pipe smoke that fills the air and strings being plucked casually as Shubil has found a seat, crossed one leg over the other, pulled out a stringed instrument, and is just playing away.
Excellent. And I don't know, we'd have to come up with a name for this stringed instrument. You could call it something mundane, like a mandolin or a lyre or something like that, but it's probably something we don't know of.
Yeah, it's in the lute category.
It's in the lute family. Okay, it's lute adjacent.
Double stringed 6.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. It's called a panda.
Panda.
And
They're not even Vietnamese.
He's you dick.
not even Vietnamese. And Shubil is playing it. Is he good at it?
Yeah, he's fairly good at it.
Okay. What's everyone else doing?
All right, so that's one vote for killing them all. That's one vote for string them up. That's one vote for put their heads on a pike. I'm counting all of those as a yes. And then I've got 2 votes for get paid. And who didn't vote?
I was going to suggest we drain them, but sure. I mean, I guess.
Blood, energy, money.
Sure. Yes.
Other things.
Why not? Could make it a party.
Making the parties, that sounds about right. Wines to the Wind has opened up his bag of God Smoke and is getting ready to smoke a bowl of his God Smoke, a drug that he got off of his wonderful friend in the market. He's going to set the mind right. That way we can deal with bullshit.
Again, before everybody starts enjoying themselves, how are we going to deal with the bullshit? Are we dealing with the bullshit by or sitting around for a couple hours?
The bullshit inside or the bullshit out here?
Both, ostensibly.
Wines to the Wind would look around. Do we want to get paid? Do we?
It's a good question. The specifics were not reached of what the payment is, but Celadon did promise to pay you handsomely for your service.
Well,
So you could probably make a request, and if he's as powerful as he claims to be,
looking at our party funding, we are currently in the red. If we are to go on our next delve, I suggest that we get proper money.
Oh. He would just walk forward to like where like the first upcoming part of the bridge is, and just like set his shield down and let the smoke billow out of his face slowly. Overall, saying that I'm here for the money.
Don't waste that. Blow it in our faces next time. Come on.
Check.
Choo choo.
So I need to know, first of all, Wines, does Wines have any mind stress currently on his character sheet?
No, I have no mind stress,
Okay.
period.
So this is just recreational Godsmoke.
Mhm.
But as he stands there and exhales and thinks about money, you look down and maybe it's the drugs. Godsmoke is this basically ground up plant fungus that grows in churchyards. And it's been like, it says that if if you smoke enough of it, you get visions of like divine providence and stuff like that. But as you look down, you see the mists down below, and differently than before, a few distinct figures are rising up. Of course, not concrete or physical, but ghostly forms are starting to poke their heads up out of the mist.
I believe our first guests are here. And he turns to look at the party after he's like looking down over. He reels his head up to look over at the rest of the others.
Shubil plays a like doom 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 doom.
Anais actually this entire time. Sorry, go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
Oh no, this entire time, it's just been like humming along with the music that that Shoebill's been playing, and they're like jotting stuff down in this like ink stained journal that they've kept with them and on their person the entire time we've been adventuring together. But if the camera were to zoom in on the journal, they would see that she's just doodling what appears to be her true form, ripping heads off of like the rich and the wealthy inside. And so like after a minute, of hearing everyone else's plans and everything, she just kind of pipes up and goes, "Oh, well, if these are rich, powerful tourists, if we did kill them, we could. I mean, we are doing the heart a service by ridding the heart of this filth, but we could just loot their bodies and take whatever they brought with them, and we can consider that payment. I mean, if you really want to think about it."
I'll sort of mull that over, and maybe Bill plays another lick on the panda. Ba-da-dum-dum-dum.
Dun,
And
dun.
you hear complimentary notes come up from the mist below, as if call and response.
Didn't
Is
know
there
that.
a band?
Are you looking for a band?
No. He would hear the music coming back and be like, is there a band coming?
Is this Battle of the Pandas? What's happening?
Could Shubil like head over to the edge and look down?
So you walk toward the edge. You have to use some caution because it's windy. Especially right now, it's the season of Scratch, or the pulse of Scratch. In the heart, they don't have seasons; they have pulses. So you have bloom and rot, and currently it's Scratch. When the dead are more active, they tend to come back and visit more often, and it just happens to be a very windy pulse of the season. And so, as you sort of carefully walk toward the edge, this incorporeal form just sort of floats right up there, and he's holding an instrument. And from appearances, he's human. But he also his instrument that he's been playing on and continues to sort of pluck at, it's broken, and he's broken. His left shoulder is twisted behind his back, and his neck is clearly snapped. But he sort of looks at it and says, "Well, don't stop."
Oh, well, shit. How of a normal occurrence is it to be interacting with a ghost?
Not unusual. Ghosts are a fact of life in the heart, and I think that no roll is necessary to help you know that, especially here in high rise, there's a lot of them, but they tend to be restless and they tend to be dangerous. If you piss them off, right? If you do something to aggravate them or irritate them, they can be more than you want to handle, but they can also be friendly or helpful, depending on how they were in life. So this one in particular is like holding the neck of his instrument behind his back and the body of it in the front and just sort of playing it.
Shubil just looks behind him to the rest of the group with like a quirked eyebrow, turning back to the ghost. Well, good sir, before we begin again, I would like to know the name of the person I'm about to have a jam session with.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's fair. I'm Marduk.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Doc. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I didn't. I'm Marduk. How about yourself?
Performatively, I'm known as Shubil.
Shubil. All right. Your friends. Hey, what's the? I'm sorry. Me and my friends down there. Me and Pierre and the others. We were wondering. What's going on inside the building there?
Orgy.
Piarty. Orgy Piarty.
A pyre.
Opulence. Just
Opulent
opulence.
orgy party.
Maxic hedonism. High elf affair, you know.
Right. And he yells. He turns and sort of like yells down into the mist, and like you can almost see the sound waves coming out of his mouth. He's like, it's an orgy. And it's like, boom, down into the mists below, and those of you who are like close enough to the edge to see, watch the mists roil more fervently and violently. It's like, oh, they don't like that.
Why? Is that house of some import to the spirits?
With the building itself, I mean, we live here. We live on the lower floors, but it depends on the spirit. You know, like some of them are probably sad they're missing out, and I'm guessing most of them are wondering who kind of has the nerve to get up to something like that. Is it your friends? Or you got folk people in there that you know, or
No, they are smacking meat in there, and we did not get invited.
I know that song. Do you know that song? Smacking Meat?
Oh,
That's one of my favorites.
Slow jam.
so
I've heard of Butcher Pete, but not Smacking Meat.
Oh, it's similar. I think it's just like, you know, like some people sing like the Baba Black Sheep, and some people sing
Whacking it,
sure.
whacking it, smacking
same
it.
same
See,
tune.
I don't know what songs are
Somebody
popular
smack my
nowadays.
meat.
It was real popular back when I was around, but
Well, well, how about this? Why don't you invite your buddies up, and we can have a bridge party?
a bridge party like out here.
Yeah, on the bridge.
You,
Oh,
oh.
I thought you
I-
said britch party, like britches, which is kind of what they're doing in there, right?
True.
Yeah.
True.
Honestly, to be fair, Miss, a no pants party with us wouldn't be that interesting, because he reaches out his hand and goes through Shubil,
Well,
and like Shubil, you like How about will you make me an endure occult roll?
Sure.
Okay.
I do not have endure, so it'll just be a cult.
Okay. Endure occult, so that would be 2d10 for you, I do believe.
Oh, I do not have
This is
endure, so
as you can see. Oh, okay. But you still get one to start with, and then occult, right?
okay, yeah.
So 2d10, and as you can see him properly, it's just a standard roll. If he were invisible, it would be riskier than that.
I got
That's a
a
9.
9.
It just feels awful. Like it feels like cold water being pushed through your chest. You know, as if somebody poured ice water, opened up your chest and poured ice water in.
I hope you're buying me breakfast after this.
Let's see how the party goes. And he goes back down, leaving you alone as he passes out invites, I think.
I guess I'll prepare some music.
Said Wines to the Wind would look to him and say to him, I'm glad that wasn't the drugs.
Wait, what are you smoking?
God smoke.
When did you have money for God smoke?
I didn't.
Where did you get God smoke?
A man from the market walked past me with a baggie.
Wines, you should never do that. Never accept things from strange men.
I am like double your age, boy. I will grab anything that I want from any strange man.
Wines, I'd like a roll from you.
So,
I'd like endure
mhm.
as for sure, and whatever's domain, probably haven or something else that you think applies to these drugs that you're smoking, just to see how the effect is as you're continuing to partake in. Endure, and then either haven or maybe desolate.
I'll throw it in Desolate. I like that.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Ooh, all 9s. This is some good stuff. Like you rolled 3d10 there, and they were all 9s. No, 2d10, and they were both 9s, which is, I mean, maybe you got lucky if Shoebill's right, or maybe Shoebill doesn't know what he's talking about.
It's good stuff. High grade. Top shelf, top drawer. I say it many other ways. You're not getting any.
Fine, I didn't want any from there anyway.
Wine to the Winds would he's gonna walk a little bit away from the ledge a little bit after seeing that it was abundantly real, and walk back more towards where Shubil was standing or sitting, and just kind of mount up with his shield placed in front of him, and he's just kind of be kind of leaning on his shield with like a lean observing, watching the bridge mostly.
So there's some other folks in the group here who have been quiet. What's Elric doing? What's Toby doing? How are you guys processing this?
Elric is familiar enough with the heart where he's seen enough ghosts. It's sort of a peculiar occurrence, I guess, to see one playing along musically. He's sort of relocated himself closer to the door to know whether to kick the door open and let the ghosts in, or to fight them off, varying on what the party would like to do. So he's just sort of sitting there, cautiously watching.
What about Toby?
Toby's sitting there with his pocket mouse, Pig, and he's playing with his mouse, but he kind of looks up and surveys what's going on and says, those are class 5 apparitions. Probably shouldn't be hanging out with them.
Class 5?
Mm-hmm.
What are the class levels?
One more than 4.
I walked into that. That's fair.
Sort of having that conversation by the door, and the door opens.
Mm.
Out walks an Aelfir woman who first of all, who within the party has spent time within the city of Spire? Up above. Even just a little. Yeah.
I'm illegal there. Nope.
1 or 2? 1, 2, 3. Those 3 of you who have been up there before know who this is. This is her name is Sija Sings the Strange. And she is a celebrity especially within gossip magazines, tabloids, things like that, usually for being the nexus of scandal, of being trouble. Currently, she's stark naked, except for her mask, which is hanging just like around her neck off to the side. And she has an unlit rolled cigarette of something in her hand as she walks out onto the balcony. And in her other hand, she has what appears to be like a crystal of some kind. And she's just like staring at it. And she just strides out onto the balcony and doesn't regard any of you and walks over towards Wines and holds out her cigarette.
Wines would, like one of the pistons that are on his sets of armor, he just lets out a little bit of steam hot enough for it to go ahead and almost like a blowtorch and just lights her cigarette.
And she takes it and she's like, yeah. She's just staring at this crystal in her hand.
Yeah.
And she's like, what's going on out here?
Just making sure things are good.
Yeah. Okay. Who are you guys?
We're a group of bodyguards and security personnel and like you said,
And whatever.
And whatever. That's the name of our group. And whatever.
Okay. She
And
goes back
you
looking at
are?
the crystal, smoking her. What?
And you are?
I'm CJ. Goes back to looking at her crystal again.
What's
So,
oh, go ahead.
please.
What's the crystal for?
Huh?
What's the crystal for?
It's not important. She like just sort of casually, one at a time, looks at everyone. And she sees Elric. And she sort of looks him up and down. She's like, hey.
He kind of shuffles a bit to like tuck the book away further. Hello.
Are you with these
Question.
guys?
Yeah.
Goes back to looking at her crystal. While she's not talking to you, she's looking at the crystal.
Perfect. One of my minor abilities is Old Blood. I can observe someone for a few seconds and read their aura and discern their surface level emotions. What all have I gleaned from this person in the
Condescension. Surface level emotion of just like sizing her up, absolute arrogance, and disregard.
Okay.
But underneath that, you get a hint of genuine curiosity and also perhaps intrigue, as if she's trying to figure out the read of all of you. And she's hiding that.
Elric, he takes a deep breath. You see him comport himself. It's not usual that he's sort of... Yeah, it looks as though he's channeling a part of him that he hasn't used in a while. He just walks up near her, takes the lit cigarette from her hand, takes a nice long drag of it, and places it back into her hand. And so, what are you curious about? He says as he just sort of leans over the side of the rail that she's standing at.
She really slowly looks up from her game of Fantasy Candy Crush and looks at you and looks at the cigarette, and she's like, gross. What did you say? Did you have a question?
No, I think you do.
Whatever. And she turns and walks back inside, and closes the door behind her. As she does,
okay. How long was she out here?
maybe
Couple minutes?
Minute.
Minutes? Damn it.
But she closes the door, and as she does, like you look past her and see several people who are tied to certain surfaces. There are people who have food being eaten off of them. It's just it's a bacchanal in there, right? Right. It's a vampire orgy.
How does
So
one get their leg that far up?
stretching.
Yoga.
A lot of practice.
Huh.
Ghost friend comes back up to the surface. Marduk comes back up. It's like, hey, I spoke to the others, and there's a few folks coming. I should probably give you a heads up. They're not. I'm not sure how to say it polite.
Chill.
They're damaged. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And this is coming from a guy who fell off a building.
When you say
So just
damaged,
everyone.
what
Well,
does
they're
that
kind
mean?
of the trauma of death. It can break a guy or a girl, and fracture you, not just physically, but
Oh.
like emotionally. And like a couple other ghosts float up, and you can see like just their eyes are like wide as they're like getting a look around, and they're like twitching. Most of them have signs of a fall of 30 stories. Some of them, like half of them is missing, like it's turned into liquid, on impact. Others, lots of broken bones and things like that. Like, oh, right, this here's Pierre. And Pierre's like, looks at all of you. And then another ghost comes up, and another one, and another one.
Bill, keep playing. Music is healing.
Oh, Bill's fingers have never moved any faster.
One of them sees Bill playing and floats closer and holds a spectral finger out to try and touch the strings. Does Bill do anything?
There's a pause in the music as Bill gingerly pushes the panda forward a little bit.
Okay. Give me a compel roll.
Okay.
Compel occult is probably a good idea.
Yes.
So you're trying to like appease this ghost. I think that one thing that Bill knows that's probably sticking out in his mind right now is one thing that's sticking out in his mind is that there's only basically one thing that's effective against ghosts in terms of weaponry or treatment or whatever, and that's knowledge, which is that knowing what specific thing is needed to affect them, or what needs to be put to rest, or what we're talking about, like dispelling haunts here and things like that. That's the only thing that would work. This person appeared to be a musician in life, and when they can't touch your strings, it infuriates them. And as their hand like passes through, they just let out this huge scream. And Bill, you're going to take, I think, a D6 of mind stress here.
Yay.
So go ahead and roll me a D6 and add that to your mind stress, and then give me a fallout test.
Yay.
Just one. So roll fallout against your total stress. No fallout.
I'm okay.
This ghost screams, and Marduk's like, "It's okay. It's all right. It's all right." A lot of these guys have been down here a long time. I've only been down here like 150 years. These guys have been down here a long time. It's all right, Clarice, come here. And like goes over and like tries to like calm this person down, this ghost person. Another one has their head in their hands.
Literally?
And yes.
Oh,
Headless horseman
And
style? Okay.
they're looking at Anais.
well, hi. How can I help you? You having trouble losing your head?
You can help me. You can help me.
Maybe.
You
What-
wish
what
to
do you-
avenge my death? We are entering into a pact.
Don't take any deals with the dead.
Oh no, I am very aware that we should not be taking deals.
And Marduk sort of turns on it and he goes, I told you, Gary. Gary, she can't avenge your death. You died like 250 years ago. All right, the person what pushed you off the building, all the members of that cult are probably gone by now.
Gary, how's your head? Any complaints?
What? Is something wrong with my head?
No, it's
So no
beautiful.
complaints.
I don't like this party. My social battery is running low. And he like floats backward and floats back down again. And Marduk says, he's fine. He's all right. He's still hung up about being in this cult that made people jump off buildings.
Oh,
crow cult?
oh,
Huh? What's that?
The crow
cult
cult.
that
Oh, the Swanfall.
Yes.
I think that Swanfall cult. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, most of these folks can't be laid to rest really unless you want to do something real significant, you know. But tell you what, I mean, what I've learned from being a ghost is they know a lot of stuff. They've been around a long time. So, I mean, if you're looking for a good source of reliable information, you know where to find us. Who's throwing this party?
Bunch of assholes from up above.
Like
They-
high elves?
Most- yeah, mostly Elfier. They feel like they can come here and pretend to be part of the heart for just a little while and then go back to the city above as if everything's fine.
Even
You know the type.
even at an askew angle, you see Marduk, like his jaw get hard, like tense up.
Hot.
And if he had teeth, he would be grinding them, right? He's right. Fucking hate those people. All right.
You know, we're not big fans ourselves, but we're just looking to get paid.
I'm right here.
Not you, a hunk of metal.
No. She said get paid, not get laid, I believe.
Oh man, I miss getting laid.
Me too.
Can you not sleep with another ghost?
I mean,
How
I
does
know
that
what you
work?
mean. I know you don't mean sleep, but like neither. No, I mean I don't sleep anymore. I'm just in constant torment. And then there's no sex neither.
Can you
Oh.
get high?
He floats up the foot.
Like if someone like blew like a smoke-based drug in your face,
Oh.
could you get high?
No, not usually. It'd have to be something real potent. Or
First
something
you
like that. I
talk
mean,
about-
honestly,
Looks at wind.
You talk about
Honestly-
ethereal boning, and now you want me to give him my drugs?
Not give
no,
him.
no, I'm
You
I'm
give him a
straight edge.
shotgun. It wouldn't be a big deal.
It's all right. No, it's okay. Honestly, I mean, look at Gary. There's only one thing that helps a ghost, and that's solving issues that will let us like rest. And there's no shortage of folks down there who want issues solved. Me among them.
What are your issues?
Well, other than being dead, I did have someone I loved. Part of a group came here about 150 years back during when we were a group of sorcerers. We were helping on this project down in the heart, and shit kind of went south. And there's no south here, but you know what I mean. Like things went bad, and all the humans, we tried to make a run for it. Our cabal tried to get to a train called the Eastern Express and make it out to the Eastern Kingdoms again. But we got here, and someone got their hands on me, and weren't happy to see all these humans on the run. I'm not even sure if my wife made it out alive or nothing. Just knowing that would be enough.
Oh,
How long ago would have this been?
150 years.
Uh,
It was this thing called the Vermisian. I think the tubes are still out there.
who-
Oh.
But we were part of the. Well, there's a lot of people working on it, but our group was among the foremost, and we had an escape plan to get out on this train. But to be honest, it looks like things didn't really improve around here since then. And like this is all like okay, a lot of people worked on the Vermisian, you know, a lot of people were cooperating to get this transit system in place. It was headed by the Aelfir, but it would make sense if they brought humans in to do magic or use technology in a way that Bill is familiar with to power this thing. So it's possible not only that he was involved, he could be a part of that Gwyn Ardassi cabal. But he says, I mean, if y'all are interested, I know you said you're looking for work, and I don't want to get in your way, but gosh, I am driven by the compulsion to rest. And
Did someone have that thing that had the symbol on it?
what's up this little gigaw, this little doodad with a sigil of the Gwyn Ardassi, and he sees like recognition spread over his face, and he's like, "Hey, that's it. Where'd you get that? That looks brand new." Sort of takes it and he holds it up. Looks at it, he's like, "Yeah, that's Gwyn Ardassi cabal. Yeah, Tython Andassi and yeah, wow, that was a long time ago."
So, all right, centuries-old cult is out to get me. That's fun.
We weren't a cult. We were a group of arcane scientists. I mean, anything's a cult if you spend enough time together. I mean, I don't know where you got this, but
Looks at Bill. Do you want?
Bill, you've never heard of this cult before, so you're pretty sure they never made it back to the Eastern Kingdoms. You know stories. You're good at
the Gwyn
stories.
Yeah. Judging from what our friend here is saying, somewhere, well into the future, the Gwyn Ardassi deem me as a problem, and they send an assassin back to kill me.
Are you talking about like time travel?
It would
Crazy, man. No, that's bullshit. Come on.
there is a slight flutter in the jacket of Shubil as the 4 guns levitate next to him. And he'll spin them to show that they are, in fact, identical pairings.
Yeah. You rotate them like you're looking at an item in a video game, all the axes. And you're like sort of spinning around, and he's like, "Wow, that is something."
These were custom made by my very own mentor. Only 2 of them exist in the world. Bing, bing.
Ooh, well, I guess it. Ooh, my mind's boggling again. The fractures of the stress of being dead. You see him thinking, like the ghost gears are spinning in his head. He's like, "Shit, man! If somebody can come back through time to kill you, go back in time to do anything, I guess."
Is that something that some of your friends back in the day would have been capable of?
Back in the day, no. I mean, they were sorcerers, but they were technological wizards, and I don't mean that in a figurative sense. Like engineers. They didn't deal with time travel, but I mean, once the heart just started, blasting all over down here, things got strange enough that I guess it's possible. You ever been to a place called Coin Pit?
Where perchance is Coin Pit?
It's well, I mean, it's out there somewhere, which is the only direction I can give to anyone with the heart. You gotta go and find it for yourself, and if you want it, the heart will take you there. But that was the entry point to the Eastern Express. That's how they got down there. Our plan was to head to Coin Pit and go through it, and then down toward the trains, the train yard. Suppose there's other ways to get there if you're ingenuitive, but the door opens and you watch as Marduk, like you see this ectoplasmic fury starts spreading across his face, right? He's going from the friendly librarian at the beginning of Ghostbusters to the angry librarian at the beginning of Ghostbusters. And he's like, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here before I kill somebody. I don't want to get you all in trouble. If you're willing to help me, just find out what you can and come back and let me know.
You got it.
No, he just like swoops back down into the mists below as Celadon comes out in his underwear covered in blood. And he's like, "Who's that? Who are you talking to? Is that another member of your group?"
No, just a
I'm
tourist
drunk. I
who
don't care.
Right.
He coughs something up and spits it over the side of the building.
Elric's hand reaches out, almost pushing him, and then he holds himself and stays his hand and brings it right behind him.
Oh, that smells like you're meeting a beat there. Like, he doesn't notice. He's so heavily intoxicated that he doesn't even notice this, and he says, "How's everything out here? Quiet? Is boring? Yes?
So boring.
Well, the party is winding down. This place is dead."
You don't say.
Do you get it? It's ghosts. Oh, everybody is going to start heading home soon, probably, one way or another. But I don't know. Did I promise to pay you or something?
You did
Yeah.
promise payment, quite a sizable one, in fact.
All right,
I
all
believe
right, all
the-
right, Miss Noel. Let me talk to your leader. Walks over to Wines.
Just
Just
turns around,
brushes
bares her
Anais
teeth for
off.
just a
Yeah,
second,
yeah.
and is just like,
racist and sexist. Fuck this guy.
Mhm. Oh
This
yeah.
party
all
is a
the way down, yeah.
democracy.
As soon as
It's
Jessie
what?
bares her teeth, Elric just starts nodding along, like, do it, do it, do it.
Starts
Gotta calm
nodding
down.
along. Yeah.
Larry, I gotta walk away. Larry, just calm me down, okay? Okay.
It's like Larry, the bug inside of your jar is just like. Click, 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 click.
I know. No. I asked you to calm me down. I can't calm you down too, okay? Just chill, all right? Just
Mr. What was it? Windman? Windman. Puts a hand up on your armored shoulder.
You're muted.
You're muted, Derek. You sweet, adorable man.
Stop yelling at me. He makes like this like disgust face and whatnot as he's looking at his his bloodied hand, but looks down at him and he says, "What are you paying us? And how much?" And he kind of gives him this look of like looking down at him, knowing that he's a drow
Yes.
from an Elfier standpoint.
Yeah. It's the dynamic here is complicated.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
as he's looking down on you as a drow working for the Elfir, and you're a displaced Elfir, but you're looking down. Okay, yeah. So he looks back at you, and he doesn't pick up on any of this nuance.
Hmm.
And looks back at you and says, I'll just tell you a secret if you want to know. I can get you anything you want. And I'm not exaggerating. I can get you, what do you want? A lady? A fellow? Someone? A little non-binary friend? What do you want? Drugs? Do you want money? Do you want, I can do anything. The person I work for is so important that he can move mountains. He could make the heart give up and go home, or whatever. And he's going to. He's got big plans. What is it? What is it that you want?
Wind is going to put his hand on his other shoulder, so opposite. So whatever hand he reached out with is now the opposite one, but he grabs onto it. He's going to grab onto his shoulder, but just with like a very gradual, hard squeeze as he leans down and says, "Money, cash."
Money,
You
shillings and standing over coins from up above. What are you going to do with money down? You can have it here. And he reaches like to his side and grabs a coin purse that is about D12 heavy worth of coin, which is huge, right?
Mm.
And he just like puts it in your hand. He's like, "Good luck. It's not going to do you any good. The people down here only know one currency, and that's weird shit. All right." I was.
Okay.
What is it? What is it that you say you want money? What do you want? You want me to kill someone? I can have someone killed for you. You want me to kill one of these guys? Do you want me to kill the little dead kid?
No kidding.
Points at Toby.
No, the money is good. You could teach my friend here, Elric, how to smooth talk in Elfir, though. That boy needs help.
Oh, wizard lady sings the strange. You stay the fuck away from her, he says towards Elric. Out of nowhere, just changes emotions abruptly. And he's like, she's a treasure. And the things they say about her aren't always true.
Can I turn to Elric, holding up Larry and being like, okay, Larry is so on board to throw this guy over. What do you say?
Listen, I'm just saying, we have the numbers. We have the numbers. I think the vote passes.
You are watching, and you're thinking about the vote. And I think that it's Jezzy who sees it. Which is that, Jezzy, you know this guy is dangerous, right? He appears to be well-connected, powerful, right? And you watch him sway, and you watch him begin to stumble toward the edge of the building. And there's a non-zero chance that you wouldn't have to kill him. That if you just leave him be, he might tumble off the side on his own. I think that Anais sees this too.
Mm-hmm.
And Anais, you can feel or hear impulses in your blood. And maybe it's the blood of the heart and the witches that you're connected to. Maybe it's the cult you were raised in, telling you to pursue consumption and chaos and decay. But you also can taste the power of deciding whether or not this person dies. What does everyone do?
I turn to Shoebill. Oh, no, please.
No, go ahead.
Is there any chance you would be down to play a few more notes? Perhaps the same ones that called Marduk the last time?
Oh, I've got a sterling rendition of Metal for the Red King I've been dying to try out.
Rick just smiles from ear to ear.
Do it, do it, do it, do it.
Shubil steps a couple of paces back, pulling the panda close to his chest, and he raises a hand, and there is electricity that jumps from it as he smashes downward, whispering under his breath, and a band of demons joined in, and it sounded something like this.
Yes.
You hit this power chord, and Celadon, I look upon thee with joy undurable, who seemed to be about to go to the edge to maybe take a piss off the side or something, spins around with his pants under his ankles, and as he turns around to look at you, you watch Marduk's form burst up behind him. Is there anything else anyone wants to do before Marduk lays into this guy?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
Anais would love to use Ascendancy. Again, they've been singing along and doing harmonies with all of the music that that Bill has been doing this entire like
Mhm.
hour or so. And Ascendancy essentially allows sorry, my husband is playing Morrowind. Oh
No,
no,
I get it. I
Battlefront.
get it.
So basically the area I'm in gains the occult domain and reacts appropriately. Magic circles blossom on the floor and thrum with dark power. Mist floods the air and so on. And this lasts until the end of the current situation. So I mean, whatever it takes to empower the ghosts that
Mhm.
are descending upon here. So Anais like just um hits this like harmony like at a perfect like tritone to
Okay.
the in the chord, and at the end of the song, that's when a burst of like red energy seeps from like essentially like her veins, and like winds and twists into the rest of the balcony to create like a breeding ground for the occult.
Okay. And what are you hoping to accomplish here?
I'm hoping to accomplish that. I mean, I'm hoping
What's the
that
result?
the result I want is to scare the shit out of this man,
Hmm.
because he sucks and I hate him.
Yeah.
Two, I wish for it to really for the occult power within it to give extra boost and extra like strength to the other occult aligned folks in our party,
Okay.
but also our ghost friends who are our friends, hopefully,
Right.
Who
Like,
also hate
keep
this
them
guy
on.
and know he
who
sucks.
Yeah, yeah,
also
yeah,
hate
yeah,
this guy. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do is I'm to see how effective this whole thing is at catching him off guard. I need a roll from someone. I'm thinking it's Bill, but you're helping. Is that fair to say, Amber?
Right. Well, to cast Ascendancy, I need to roll Compel plus Occult to cast the spell and draw the heart
Oh,
itself into the
well, maybe
area.
then you're doing the roll with help
With me
from Bill, but
assisting.
he would share in a stress of a failure.
Perfect.
Okay,
So
all
Compel
right.
plus
So
Occult.
this is compel occult, yeah, for sure.
Okay. Standard.
This is risky,
Okay.
just because it's like you're trying to murder someone important, at the tail end of a party.
We're doing a
It's fine.
civil service. It's not murder.
Oh yeah, sometimes doing civil service is risky.
You know what? Actually, that's fair. Write to your congressman. Do more than write to your congressman. Anyway,
Murder people. No, don't.
No, no.
I didn't say it. Doc is the one that said it. I'm just
You heard it here.
saying.
Nope,
Murder your
nope.
congressman,
You do not
Doc said it.
condone it.
All right.
Oh my
discern-
God.
Oh, why did that say discern plus occult? Hold on. It's supposed to be compel plus occult.
Yes, try it again. This time with compel.
Oh, I see what I did. Ha 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 ha. Okay. I'm
And
sorry.
remember, you're doing this with assistance, so you get one more. There we go. A
my
success,
God.
no stress. The sight and sound overwhelm his already intoxicated brain, and you watch as Celadon, a bishop of the Solar Basilica, a assistant to some of the most powerful people in the city of Spire, stumble backwards, and Marduk wraps these ghostly spectral claws around his throat and pulls him back off of the ledge, and they both plummet. And
Is
then
Ma-
there's just silence.
Is Marduk the only ghost up here?
Yep.
Oh, that feels good. All right.
At least we got paid.
So that's
Someone
your
else
last
wanders
five
onto the
spectrum,
balcony
huh?
from inside and says, where's Celadon?
Shibil shrugs.
Seems to have shuffled
He-
off early.
Yeah. He had to clean house, he said.
It's clean house. That's not his job. Okay. All right. Well, tell him we're out of Malak.
Could you, if you see him, tell him we still need to get paid.
Who are you?
We're your bodyguards
Oh,
and your
thank you.
security for this party.
Oh, he reaches out and takes one of your paws. Says, thank you for your service. He turns and goes back inside. At this point,
Alexis Rose.
yes, absolutely. That was Alexis Rose, the High Elf here. David.
David.
At this time, you hear the evening bells start ringing in High Rise, which means that down here, time is kept by bells because you can't see everywhere in the heart, but the chain of bells can ring throughout the heart saying sundown. And that means that pretty soon it will be time for you to find a place to sleep. And it does get the vibe that people inside are either going to sleep here or have started wandering off elsewhere in the building, but they aren't your problem anymore. So, what do you all do next? Where do you stay? And what is your plan next?
Well, I think I need to take me a trip down to the Vermissian.
You sure you want to do that?
I kind of have to if I have to want to figure out why people are trying to kill me.
I mean, it does make
Yeah.
sense to
We-
help.
Absolutely. Wind, have you heard about this Eastern thingy?
Wind, you know that the Vermissian, although it never functioned, is an arcane current. Vermissian Knight's job is to patrol the stations that are left over, some of which look like normal subway stations, some of which are haunted ruins and wrecks. They're all very different. You could imagine that maybe somewhere along the line you've heard of something called the Eastern Express, but as far as you know, it's not very well known. So maybe like hints or rumors.
Going down the Vermissian is no easy task. What you're looking for is like finding needle in needles. It is not something for the faint of heart to go through this portion of the heart. For some of you, may be equipped, but even I, as many times as I have delved, it could be death, or worse. But if we are going to go, We go together. It's our best chance. Not to mention, we're rich, bitch. Oh,
Well, I wasn't going to impose on anyone, but if that is a sentiment that is shared, I thank you, I guess.
I'm with you. We're with you.
I think I would imagine all of you having this conversation as you make your way across the bridge back toward the market near high rise. Does anyone else want to chime in and say anything?
Yeah.
Actually,
Oh, sorry.
oh, go ahead.
No, please.
I was going to ask, allowing the celebrity woman to live, and not killing the entire party, is that
Mhm.
allowing something dangerous of the heart to live when you could have killed it, or nah?
I don't think so. You should have, as a witness to this, whatever, even as like a, I don't know, as a weird Kardashian that she is. No. Marduk is. Okay.
Absolutely.
Ooh, that's a 10.
Take that.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does do that sometimes.
Yeah, true. You want to speak
The longest.
Been down there
Please.
longest, Gregorius? I can see him. I mean, keep in mind, the longer you're down there, the more cantankerous you get. But I can see if he's taking an audience.
I would appreciate that greatly.
All right. Goes back down. And a few moments later, a ghost that apparently is so ancient that he is paler, he's more translucent and more transparent. He is less constituted. You know what I mean? And his
Yeah.
Marduk used to be a human. You don't know what he was in his original life, but this ghost floats up and regards you, and instead of saying anything, just sort of
Elric offers a small bow. Glorious, I hear. That is what you're called?
bows in return. He acknowledges you.
May I ask you a question? Are you amenable to such a thing?
Thinks, or you think he thinks, and nods.
Have you heard of beings that are perpetually resurrected? Are you familiar with such a thing?
If he had eyes, they would be like darting around as he thinks. And he sort of takes a moment for him to form words. He's forgotten how to use them. And he says, "Rare. Yes. Prokatakos." Says Prokatakos, which is, there are some theories that there was a civilization in Spire before the Drow. And how they got there, they don't know. But they had a technology and knowledge that was advanced past the point of even where your society is today. And recovering that technology, that arcology, is a huge boon. It's a find. But you still can, if you know where to look, find answers and records about the Prokatakos. And he seems to imply that maybe they had some grasp of this forbidden knowledge.
Smile softly. Right. I'll look into that, but one final question. In all your time, have you heard of a way to break that cycle?
He thinks about the question of immortality being posed to a ghost.
Right.
And sort of, it seems like he's tasting it on his lips. And he frowns. And he sort of shakes his head no, sadly. And then he floats back down.
Thank you.
The rest of you arrive back at the market looking for, I don't know, a hovel, an inn, something, a place to sleep.
Yeah.
And when you return, it's not the same. It was a bit of a walk to get to this other building. You had to cross a few rooftops. When you get back, part of the market is cinder and ash. Some of the places where there used to be stalls and kiosks, most specifically, macabre kebabs among them,
Damn it.
have been burned to the ground. And there are people in the street looking for their loved ones and recovering from whatever happened. What do you do?
Well, what did we miss?
Someone hears that rhetorical question and says, "It's the Bay Company. They shut down their factory, moved on, and a few somebodies had some choice words to share and just put their boot down, I guess. Burned half the market."
So they just up and left?
Yeah. They said they had places to go. More, what was the word? More productive arenas. That's how it is with these businesses and corporations. You suck you dry and they move on.
But to do this, why burn everything scorched earth?
And when they're that powerful, I don't think they need a reason.
Is the portion of the market that was burned, is it just as bad burned to where the factory was as well? Like, did it look like the fire started at the factory?
You make me a roll here for this. Make me a discern haven roll.
Oh, discern haven.
Or you can always sort of mention that thought and see if somebody else is better equipped to make that roll if you
I
want.
say that question out loud.
I have discern, but not haven.
Damn
I don't
it.
think anyone has haven, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, nobody does.
I can give it a shot.
You guys are used to living rough.
Go
Okay,
for
you can
it,
do it with
Shubil.
I'll help you
with help.
by sniffing.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, nose, let's go.
I can cast bypass as a minor ability. The first time you cast the spell on a delve, it functions as a d6 boon. I can do that, or I can save it for later.
This isn't a delve just yet. I
Ah.
think your delve will begin tomorrow once you get some rest.
Just kidding.
But it's a good idea. So save it for later. So make me a discern haven with help.
Okay.
Of a plus
Standard?
one. Actually, if you want, you could add a +1 for Jesse and a +1 for Wines if they both want to risk the stress.
Risk the biscuit.
Risk it for the biscuit.
I
Okay,
live dangerously.
Here we go. Hey!
Very good.
The biscuit has been risked.
Thank you for your help.
Oh,
The smell that Jesse smells on the wind, the accelerant here is Spire Black. It is the resource that is used and adapted within the city and in the heart to become things like gunpowder, oil, fuel. It is distinctly similar to the kind that they used in the factory. But as you look around, you see the factory has been dismantled. Apparently, they just pulled up tent pegs and knocked it down. But the fire didn't start there, although it was probably started by the people who worked there. This was
Motherfucker.
an act of corporate disregard and discrimination, and they just didn't give a shit.
Motherfuckers.
We'll say that you all find a place to stay that night. Everyone is kind of making do with what they have. Yeah, Bill.
Bill will stay out a little bit late, asking people who are they looking for, can you describe them, and then using that same tracking spell he used to locate Toby and Anais earlier, just
Right.
find bodies for a bit.
Yeah, you help recover people from the ash and from the wreckage.
You ain't going by yourself. You got
Dozens
shot by a
of
future
casualties.
person.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
agreed.
And you do get some information, which I'll share with you in a little bit, about what these people looked like. But the easiest answer is it was a beggar and her thugs, basically the other people working for the company, who basically one of the thugs felt insulted and started a fire, and then the people started pushing back, and then there was a kerfuffle.
Looking for
So
fire.
you all eventually exhausted find a place to rest with the plan to head toward the Eastern Express in the morning to leave a high rise. But just as you get ready to go to sleep, Wind, you are out smoking the last of this Godsmoke. When you're approached by a pig with a human face. So everyone's take a break, and when we come back, Derek will talk to a pig. So don't go anywhere, and we'll see you in 10 minutes or so. Yeah, pigs. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I murdered a kebab stand, but we've returned from our break with Heart, the City Beneath, and our Red Heaven actual play. Our group just learned that another force here in High Rise exited. They moved their business, the Ptolemy Bay Corporation, who make guns, took their factory and went home. Before they did, apparently they got into some sort of an argument with the locals and destroyed half of Knockthrough Market and killed lots of people. So it appears like you are surrounded by jerks, no matter which way you turn. And so it's all about like, hey, down here in the heart, there are no shortage of people that you can optionally take revenge on. The question is, how do you choose who you want to take revenge on? And what's most important right now, and please jump in and correct me if I'm wrong, right now the plan seems to be to head towards something called the Eastern Express, which is a location. The way this works in the heart is the same as how delves work whenever you go anywhere in the heart, which is you will figure out how to get there on the way because, as we say, the heart knows what you want and will give it to you. You just have to basically put in the work to get there. One of your sources, who was a ghost, said that you could go through a place called Coin Pit, and that could help lead you in that direction. But you could also just strike out on your own and try to find it. Mechanically, here's how we do a delve. So we say, okay, we're going from High Rise to the Eastern Express. That's our delve. I list the domains that we're talking about. So desolate, technology, and whatever comes when we get to the place that we're going. I assign it a resistance number, just like an enemy or an adversary or something like that. And as you make progress down this way, you will reduce that resistance number until it's 0. And when it's 0, you've arrived. So the resistance number for this delve is 10. It has a die of starting at D6. We might increase it to a D8. So whenever you add to your progress, you'll roll a D6 and subtract that from the delve. And eventually you will theoretically get there. But first of all, take a moment to think about anything you want to accomplish before you leave. There is a pressing matter at hand, which is that just before you go to sleep, winds to the wind, you are approached by a pig with the face of a human. And it's a face that you recognize, although the last time you saw this person, they were not a pig. Who is the annoying messenger that your masters send to bring you correspondence in the heart? What's their name?
His name.
I could give him one if you want.
You know
Is he
what?
an Elfir? Is he a Drow?
I'm gonna say he's an elf here, and I'm gonna say his name is a swine with a good word on its mouth.
A swine with a good word on its mouth. Swine, who was not always a pig, so this is kind of a bitter irony. The last time you saw him, he was an Elfir, maybe like a preteen or something like that.
Hmm.
But sees you and he's like, "Hey,
Hello.
um, well, I'm a pig.
I can see this. I can see this. The hell are you
yeah,
doing, swine?
Well, I talked with some doctors and mages up top, and apparently going back and forth to the heart this often can change you a little bit, and I've taken on some adverse effects.
Oh, I hear that. She's just
Who's that?
She just kicks up her feet from
Oh, hey, Jesse.
hoofs. It happens.
Yep.
Don't worry about it.
Anyway, I'm glad I found you. I got a message for you. Do you want it in private or?
Oh, God. A message from me. You came all the way down here in your little piggy-ass hooves to come and tell me this?
It's my job.
He picks up swine.
Yep, he's like, yeah, he's about that
Yeah,
size.
he's like a pocket pig, you know,
Dude
little-
face.
Yeah, with a dude face. He's just like,
Very upsetting.
just say it, but don't say it too loud. I'll
Oh,
make you into bacon.
okay. They got news a couple hours ago, traveled real fast, that you had made a connection down here with some important people from the city. And message from your masters is to work with Celadon, look upon thee with joy unendurable, and do whatever he needs you to do. Apparently, he's really well connected, and it would look good for the family.
Okay. Then you make sure the message you bring is that we've done good. Security has been done. The party was a complete banger. Lots of drugs, good amount of blood, good amount of sex, many naked people.
Okay. Yeah, they'll be glad to
Okay.
hear that, I guess.
And here is a portion. He takes like a little bit of money and just like slaps it on the side. A little bit of coins, like slaps it on the side
It
of his like.
sticks to him.
Yeah, imagine. Yeah, just like whoosh. So all you hoping that everyone can hear just like the sound of just like
Big.
me like whoosh.
Okay, all right, like, all
Are we
right.
singing "Slapping the Meat" again?
I love that song. He turns and he trots off to get back up toward the city.
All right.
So is there anything y'all want to do before you leave? We can fast track this stuff
Is it
until
the
the next morning.
morning?
You say you probably found a tent city. There's probably lots of people who are
Fireside
displaced
chats.
now,
Fireside chats.
and so you found like like a tent city to stay with. So anything during the night you want to do? Fireside chats. I know Sid loves a fireside chat.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Go ahead and tell me who's talking to whom.
I'll sit down with Jesse. Winds to the wind would sit down with his shield down on the ground, which is that of a giant subway door. So he kind of sits on it like a big sled, if you would, and it kind of teeters back and forth as he makes himself comfortable upon seating on it, and it just slowly rocks back and forth until eventually it stops.
Have you ever gone tobogganing with that thing?
What the hell is a toboggan?
I mean, it's basically that. It's like a big, sort of circular, almost cylindrical thing, and you sit your butt on it, and then when it's snowy outside, you go down a hill. It's real fun. Used to do it when I was little, when we got snow.
Right, I haven't seen snow in 79 years.
Yeah, it's been a while for me too.
No toboggan then. How many of those bugs do you have in a jar?
Well, I have a lot in me, but I just Larry.
But why, Larry? If you have so many bugs inside of you that get to exude freedom when they please, that must suck to be in a jar.
Well, no. It's better than when I found him.
Outside, I hope.
Kinda.
Or is he inside?
Looks around. See if anyone's listening.
Is anyone listening?
Not Anais.
Not on purpose.
No.
Can you keep a secret?
I sold myself to live the life of that of the Mermisian. Secrets is all I know. They'll go somewhere, but nowhere.
Larry's special. wasn't always a beetle.
Oh, what
He's
was he?
human. Delver. Real good friend of mine. He was part of my old delving party. And I had a weird dream. I get them sometimes. You know, the heart's fucked up. And I kind of followed it outside our camp, and I saw something I wasn't supposed to see. And Larry followed me to give me some backup. And when we ran, these bad folks kind of turned him into a bug.
I see. And how long has this person been a bug for?
About 3 years. I don't know what it's like.
Give bug.
You gonna be careful?
Do you trust me? We've been traveling this much together. I'm not too sure if I might turn into a bug myself being with you. Especially where we have to go.
Just be gentle, okay?
Okay.
Hand him the jar. Kind of doing the thing of like, if I need to take it real quick, I can.
Wines observes the bug thoroughly, but he still listens to what you are saying as he's kind of look at you to finish the thought. Oh. He kind of listens. How do you feel about what we are doing?
You talking to me or you talking to Larry?
Both.
I know why I'm out here. I'm trying to figure it out. So I'm just kind of, going with the flow. Waiting to hear isn't quite right. Neither's feel. Somewhere in between, but trying to listen. See what I'm supposed to do next. But along the way, if you hear from anybody about like knowing magic that can like undo a transformation or make a new transformation, just let me know, okay?
I can do this thing. I can do this thing to help you. You see that Wine's his focus shifts to Larry. If I help Jesse, would you help me with something? Does that mean
Taps
yes?
on the side of the jar.
Yeah, taps mean yes.
Okay. When we go down there, deep into those tunnels, I need help finding something of my own. Or should I say of somebody else's? But just like you, your human form was lost. And I too look for something familiar. You do this thing for me.
He taps again.
Good. Good. Do you like to gamble?
There are no taps. Actually, I know, Sid, are there taps? Does Larry like to gamble?
Maybe there's like a tentative one. And
Tap?
yeah, Jesse, we play cards sometimes, but no, he was a real steady type, a real Papa Bear.
Okay. Did your friend like to gamble before he was Bug?
Maybe a couple coin, but nothing crazy.
Wines reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a matchbook with the symbol of the Manticore Casino, an Upspire casino. It's very famous for, of course, its gambling, but high class crowd that it brings. And he shows the matchbook to the Bug.
Mm-hmm.
Does this look familiar at all?
Larry looks at the symbol, which it basically it's a very stylized but simple picture of a lion's head with wings. And Larry looks at it, and you don't get a tap. I don't think he's ever seen this before.
Wine's kind of like, he looks at him. You almost see this like flash of almost hope for a minute and then frustration as he reaches back over the fire to hand you back Jesse. Well, not Jesse. Larry.
Larry to Jesse.
Larry to Jesse.
From Larry to Jesse.
To Jesse. With
And
love.
from Justin to Kelly. Anything else folks want to do here? Because we got to hit the road. Yeah. But I do love the role play. Gosh, I love it.
Oh, I was gonna say Bill is off in the corner, quietly playing the panda, his jingasa over
Mhm.
his face. He plays a song and sings along. It's a story of a traveler who's weary on the road. He is stopped by a very attractive worker of a hostel, and he falls into her wiles. In the middle of the song, he is putting pieces together, and one of the things that he doesn't he realizes is that a certain type of wine hasn't been served there after like a long time.
Oh, Destarin Red is
The man tries to escape, but is trapped by the ghosts of this hostel. Hotel California.
Yeah.
You motherfucker.
I love it. So the song of Fantasy Hotel California sticks with us as the lights go down, and then the next morning as we cut to the group with all of their things and heading out of high rise. Just like you came in, you have to cross a bridge to get out, but there's a number of different exits, and so you head off down one of the many tunnels of the heart. You're not sure what's ahead. You know there will be strange things, unknowable things, but also beautiful things, awe-inspiring things, and hopefully answers. So you start on this delve looking for the Eastern Express, perhaps by way of the coin pit. How do you proceed? Who's walking up front? Who's taking different tasks? how do you decide which way to go? Because there's any number of different twists and turns that will come up from time to time.
Above table, does anybody
Yeah.
have delve?
I have Delph.
I believe Toby
have
does.
I have a piece of equipment called a dimensional barometer, and
Mhm.
it's supposed to assist with delving. Could I lend it to
Does.
Toby?
You certainly can. You can hand that over. What's the die on a dimensional barometer? What's the value?
D6.
A D6. So a dimensional barometer, like a weather barometer, tells you about rising or falling pressure, but specifically in terms of incursions from other dimensions of reality. And the idea being everyone's eventual goal, whether they admit it or not, is to reach the heart itself, the center of this cataclysmic space. And the closer you get, the weirder it gets. And so that is, how people end up changing, being transformed, stuff like that. And so at least it will tell you whether or not you're heading down or not. But if you're going to roll me a delve check, this would be it's still sort of the area that you're in. It feels like a wide plane, but it's a tunnel. It has sides. It almost has the vibe of maybe like one of the levels from Hades 2, where you're like, or Hades, where it's like, I know there's a wall over there somewhere, but this place is huge and barren. Right. So as you sort of try to get your bearings and stuff like that, if you want to roll me a delve desolate, and what kind of assistance does the barometer give? Does it say in the description?
It just says delve.
Okay. In that case, it'll add another die to your roll. So it'll be like a help, but you said you wouldn't get the fallout or the stress from
Wait.
it.
So
Are all of
do
us sorry?
Go ahead, Andrew. Ask.
yeah.
Yeah.
Are all of us rolling the stealth roll or no?
No. So
I-
you can, obviously, but you would all get stressed. In this case, it seems like since Toby has delve, he's
I
willing to
also
be
have
the.
delve as well.
Okay. So that's
if
another
I can
option.
add to that. If we want to say add to his.
Do you want to help?
Yeah.
At the risk of stress, that's fine. It
Yes,
is a standard
absolutely.
roll.
Okay.
So roll me a delve desolate, plus one more die for the barometer, plus one more for wine helping. And that should be 4d10, but worth 5. I'll let you figure it out.
9.
A 9. Excellent. You take no stress. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to roll a d6 and subtract it from the delve's resistance. And that's a 1. So the resistance of the delve is now at 9, but you feel like you're heading in the right direction. You eventually find a place where it becomes a tunnel proper. And for those of you who have adventured in the heart before, you know that a heart tunnel or corridor or passageway can look like anything. It can look like a metal tube. It can look like an elevator shaft. It can look like a big artery made of flesh or something even weirder. But this is a tunnel. It's made out of rock. And as you venture inside, you feel like, okay, this feels good. Like the barometer says yes, right direction. What's everyone else doing while you travel?
I would say that Wines to the Wind is taking up the rear. Realistically, just mostly trying to take up as much of the expanse of what is able to be looked at, understanding that it is very much a large wasteland with no walls. Like that is a very curious thing to something like Wines, is the fact that we're inside of the heart. We know there's an end to this, but this is wide. Very wide. So he has his eyes peered towards any and all things.
As you're thinking that, the tunnel itself that you enter, you notice that it's gradually getting smaller. Not in a disturbing way. It's just sometimes tunnels are tighter than they were before. They go in gradients, right? And eventually you get to a place where there's a sudden sort of, it looks like an ending, but then you notice that the tunnel continues. It's just very narrow. And you can only fit through one at a time. basically.
Oh, talking about that
and-
narrow. Ooh.
Yeah, and for wines, especially, I think you might be the biggest one size-wise of the group. Is
Bef-
troublesome.
Before we
The
go
viewers.
through the tunnel,
Mhm.
just to check it out, since
Yeah.
it's so small and we'd be going one by one. Can Jesse? I want to use an ability called Many Eyes, which allows me to basically send my bees forward. I can't control them, but I can ask them very nicely to go ahead, and I can see through their eyes.
Okay. So how does it look like when you petition the bees? How does that conversation go?
I think it's one of these. Let's go look ahead, okay? Just make sure there's nothing waiting for us on the other side. Pretty please.
A contingent, a small swarm, come out of you. Where do they go? Where do they exit? Where's the exit?
Mouth.
Okay. Bunch of bees fly out in a swarm and circle around approvingly, and then start to wind down this this tunnel. Now, this isn't like familiar where they can talk to you and stuff like that, but you can see through them, right?
I can literally see through their eyes. Yeah. So I have to close my eyes. I can't see through my eyes right now. I can only see through the bees.
Okay. With your eyes closed, there's a bit of adjustment. And not only that, but you're going from two eyes to multifaceted eyes. And that can be disorienting at first. But they wind down this thin tunnel that doesn't really get any wider or more generous in shape. It just sort of keeps going at that sort of like single file width. And then you realize that the tunnel itself has started to change a little. And where there was rock, the rock gives way and slowly like transitions to more of a fleshy, red tinted wall. And then up ahead, there is what you see through these bee eyes as initially it looks like a spider web that is covering the entire tunnel. But when you get closer, you realize that although it is a web that was clearly put there on purpose by something, there is a pattern to it, a design, where in the center of the web, whatever made it has made a square, and then inside of it is a smaller triangle, and then inside of that is a circle.
She's gonna pull her bees back.
Bees come flying back.
I told you about this. That's what I saw. The square, the triangle, and the circle. The square, and the triangle, and the circle. I saw this. There's the tunnels is rock, and then it's just squishy, and then there's a big web, and the web's got a big symbol. I saw it. I saw it in my dreams. I saw it in my dreams.
Can there
Yes.
be a Shoebill-sized outline where Shoebill would have been standing?
Yes, you turn to the cloud of dust, which you think is Shoebill at first, but then it cartoons away.
Bill, there's a big web. Don't break it. I gotta look at it.
How far back does Bill go?
Oh, he had gone as soon as Jesse had sent the bees, so he's just meandering down
Doesn't
the
like bugs?
hallway. Doesn't really like bugs, but it's
Oh,
like
he's going into the tunnel.
He's going into the
further
tunnel.
in. Okay, I thought
Yeah.
he was running away.
no,
All right.
no.
Bill, you see that transition into a fleshy tunnel. And then you reach that point where up ahead you see this web, and it becomes clear as you get closer that it's not made of silk or something like that. It appears to be wire. Like whatever made this wove together these very thin metallic strands. And as you look at it, it's shining over what little light you have. There it is in the middle, that tripart symbol.
Hmm. You know what? The flesh was less disgusting than this. I'm gonna go back to that. He's gonna just slowly back up the tunnel and wait for everyone.
As you back up the tunnel, you feel something wet and sticky brush your arm.
I really hope that was a wet stick.
Let's jump back to the others.
Oh.
Leave the tension hanging there for a second. What's everyone else doing?
We gotta go get Bill. I don't know if it's safe. I saw it. I saw it, and I've seen it a couple times, but I don't know what it means. But it's gotta mean something, right? If I keep seeing it.
Elric sighs and starts trudging forward.
Okay.
Be careful. Shit.
Yeah, Wines would also be moving steadily, like he just wouldn't be cupping his pace. Like anybody that's like not moving, you just feel like him bumping into the back of you. Just
Okay.
just
Okay.
the tunnel's getting smaller doesn't mean stay at one spot. What the hell is that?
Actually,
Larry.
Anais 100% is one of the people that you have to like push and shove in order to get them to move a little bit, because they are so enraptured by like finally being in the heart. Like this is one of the core parts of their cult, is being here in the heart. So they're like taking little samples of the walls just to like keep squirreled away so that they can like study it later. She's you know she takes up the middle just so that of our little pack, so that she can take in everything from every angle, front and back, and be able to see how things move within the heart itself.
You reach out and you take samples at different places, like where it sort of gradients from stone to flesh.
Gross.
to
Cool.
and different samples of different levels, and you can feel it not only in your cult philosophy that you carry in your head, but in your blood, that you are going deeper into the heart, like that the song that has sung to you and called you out is you are fulfilling it, right? And you
What
like it tingles.
what if she takes a little nibble of some of the flesh that she finds on the wall?
What if she does? Does she?
She does.
Okay.
Like while
Uh-huh.
like everyone's concerned about Bill going forward and like trying to find him,
Yeah.
she's just
You
like,
take some of the softer bits. Do you do it in a quiet way, or
oh,
is there like
She's
gonna be like, hey everybody?
it's like
What
a
does she do?
reverent thing, honestly. It's kind of like taking sacrament, it's
Oh, you put it on your tongue,
and let it melt and
and
dissolve
that's what it
into
does.
the self.
It
Yeah.
melts. It's like it unifies with your heart's blood form, right? Not the mask that you put on, not the drow, but your true form tastes it. Um, I need a roll for this just to
Yes.
see if there's any sort of weirdness. Make me endure a cult roll.
Endure cult. Okay.
Yeah, I think that would be good. And yeah, I just want to see
Okay.
how it goes.
Standard.
Yeah,
Okay. A 1 and a 10.
Yikes.
it tastes like heaven tastes. It is accessing a part of like your taste sensors that you didn't know was there before. It's umami times a million. it tastes like colors.
Oh, so she's high as fuck. She's high as balls. Hell
She's
yeah.
feeling it. If nothing else, you feel emboldened or justified.
All right. Well, then, with this, while everyone's hesitating to go forward to find Bill, Anais is just going, oh, I know the pathways through these. I know the pathways. I know this. I've studied this. I am this. And so, without even just like responding to Jezza or responding to anybody, just goes forward to get Bill, just compelled by the song of the heart at its core.
You
And Bill's
march
song.
forward, and like you might even like squeeze past wind, like you know, like just
Too small. It fits.
slipping through, like, and you do it with such ease. It's almost like the walls give way for you and make room for you to pass through. Um, and I guess for anyone watching this, you might have to guess whether or not you would see that way as well. It does seem very responsive in that manner. You finally get to where Bill is, and there is a sort of a red pseudopod part of the wall that has reached out to gently caress him. Its intentions are unclear, but maybe it's tasting him.
Anais
Hello.
holds up a finger. Oh, I was gonna say Anais holds up a finger at Bill and just like caresses the pulsating thing back, just to out of like petting a satisfied cat.
It any sort of tension within it melts away in like a cat, like it rises up to be pet. You know what I mean? Like when a cat like
Yeah.
puts its butt up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And then it sort of relaxes and curls up back into the wall and settles down. And you hear a purring coming from the tunnel. In a way.
Entranced, Anais doesn't even like look at Bill when they say this, but it says, "Isn't it marvelous? Isn't it everything you ever dreamed it would be?"
Holy shit, your eyes are saucers.
Not only that,
Oh,
but where
go
you
ahead.
thought were like pupils, her eyes are just pools of black.
Full square.
Tripping balls, man, with tripping fucking balls. This is the high episode. Everyone is high. Wind is
Everyone,
high. Wine is high. Everyone.
Bill
everyone
begins
catches up.
to. Yeah. He
Yeah,
just
yeah,
begins
go
to
ahead.
wiggle his arms, like, "Are you okay, Anais? Is everything all right?"
Everything okay? Are you good?
Turns, pulls out an Oni mask. Ah!
Oh my god. All of you, one by one, sort of see now this web up ahead. And all of you see it, so it must be real. This symbol woven into a web of metal. What do you do?
Could I discern technology to see if I can figure out what the hell exactly is
I
binding
think
this
discern
wirewire?
technology would work. Discern desolate or occult would also be good here.
Discern technology, which I have a 1d6 on technology or d6 on tech.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm doing that right. I think.
An 8 successful. You guys are rolling great tonight. Look at this. Look at these
yeah.
rolls.
Yeah, now
in
we're gonna
there.
suck for the next 50 minutes.
Maybe. You've encountered this before, I think. These are metal weaver spider layers, the signs of a certain kind of spider called metal weaver spiders that excrete metallic webbing and can, the thing is they're not super dangerous unless you upset them or if there's a lot of them. And when they are upset, they come out and they walk on these. They're not technically spiders because there's not 8 legs, but they walk like spiders on legs that look like scissors.
I would Wines would turn to the rest of the party and just let them know that what we're dealing with on these webs are no small thing. I don't like spiders, and neither should you. No, do not touch these things. You piss one off, you piss the many.
Bill raises his
No, he was
semi-damp
reaching
hand.
for like
Yeah.
the web and then just reaches back out, like
Yeah.
back to
Yeah, that's the
himself.
thing. Is like spiders, you know that they could probably sense tremors within the webbing. How many of them is the question? And is there another way for you to get through here? Or are you going to backtrack and lose time?
Ooh.
I've got a really bad idea if anyone's willing to try.
I have one possible good idea that could be a bad idea as well. I have spare capacitors and wires upon my person. Is there any way to jerry rig the webs?
Yeah. Ooh, I
Interesting.
have perfect machine. So if we want to cut through it and then like try and keep the tension, I can produce like sticky stuff and
You
like
can repair it after you're through.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Interesting.
use compel occult to try and cast a spell to counteract the vibrations we make.
All of these are good ideas. It depends. Which one are you going to go with as your primary role?
It says,
Or are you going to make them all separately? Because like you all need to get through if you're going to continue down this path.
Right.
utilizing the spare capacitors and wires is die 10 on that bad boy.
Oof.
With technology.
Yeah.
In the domain, yeah. So
but then
I
you
mean,
use them up. Then they're gone.
Then they're gone.
And you
there
can't
goes
repair your
Silver's
armor
back.
with them later.
Yeah, I know. Shit. So
I've
I
got
honestly,
the perfect machine thing. So
what does
I
the
can
perfect machine do?
I can given a minute, you can repair technological devices. Even if you don't have the right parts, you can synthesize parts from wax and extruded bone.
So even if you break this thing or if you cut through it, you could put it back the way it was.
Yes.
Question is, will you have that opportunity? Or will this
Yes.
summon
Spiders.
Right.
I think Jezzy is gonna kind of push for this. I don't know what this is, but I've seen it so many times. I know we have to go this way, and I kind of want to keep it. Just that piece.
If you
Please?
want it, get your bag, girl.
all I know is that whatever you do, I better not suck.
Can I actually use bypass for this to help it?
Tell us what bypass does.
Yeah. Oh, tell us what
Yeah.
bypass is.
Yeah,
Sorry.
can you read? Yeah.
Yeah. It says the first time you cast a spell on a delve, it functions as a D6 boon.
There you go. You
Nice.
could probably use that to. So what a boon is in this case is if you use this in a way, it would get you probably through. I don't know if you can get everyone through, but it will reduce the
Oh.
delve's resistance by a d6. So it's sort of like you make a way to make it easier. I'm not sure it
Okay.
removes the threat of alerting whatever made this web, but it would help move the delve along.
There's a spooky way we could do this if you guys wanted to.
Black
I
spooky.
feel like that's Toby's catchphrase.
Yeah.
Spooky.
The spook related.
Tell us about your spook.
Please be the spooky witch to my weird witch.
I could take us all through the gray
Oh, that sounds like fun.
For those of you-
Elaborate.
Unfamiliar, the gray is one of the 8 heavens. It is an alternate plane of existence that is an afterlife that is devoid of color or joy or feeling, but it runs parallel to your own reality.
It would
So you
be
could,
kind of like the upside down.
yeah,
Mm.
there you go. But pale.
Yeah.
And when you step in there, I mean, it's easy for Toby to do. I'll just say, would be slightly more challenging for the rest of you to do.
Hmm.
This feels like a team building challenge.
Sure feels that way, doesn't it? Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna roll the dice, and I'm just gonna say that Wines is gonna go ahead and point towards Jesse, just for the bonds of trust and whatnot from our conversation. He looks more towards her for a solution.
How about this? We go through with Toby.
Mhm.
Once we're on the other side, y'all step back a bit, and then I'll cut this piece off and fix it before they come.
That is
Start
not what I
over.
was talking about.
Hey, you let her choose.
God damn it.
Toby, what does it look like when you step sideways into the gray?
So I have to perform a 10-minute ritual first. But Toby honestly just makes it the fuck up.
Yeah.
And so it's just something he's been told. He's got a bloodletting kit, so he cuts his finger. Does he need to? He doesn't know. This is just what he does, and this was the presented when he was a kid. So he cuts his finger, he drops blood on the ground, he waves his hands. It's all very perfunctory. And he's like, "Oh, great spirits. Oh, great spirits. Please help us to the gray. To the gray. I say, to the
Today?
gray."
And at the 10-minute mark,
If it's 10 minutes, I'm going to give Elric a haircut and a shave. So
At what point
a lot of
are
that is Toby spinning in a circle and putting on his robe and, and all that stuff. But
I
it's-
do
it's
have
off the-
hairdressing, scissors, a razor, and a
Is-
mirror. So that's what I'm going to
is
do.
kiss
Elric, I'm going to give you a
Elric
haircut
has a
and a shave.
haircut.
He's
is Kiss by a
unbelievably
Rose?
compliant.
Is
It
Kiss from a
does-
Rose by Seal involved?
Yes, yes.
I
Right.
compare you to a kiss by
There's music.
Because
On the gray.
light
But-
played some the moon on the gray. So
Yeah.
The transition from reality to the gray is stark and sudden.
I think I'm supposed to roll for it as well.
You are supposed to roll, I believe it is
Delve
endure religion? Delve
Delve.
religion.
Delve
Okay,
religion.
give me a delve religion roll. Anyone who wants to risk stress can assist, but you gotta let him know before he rolls.
I'll assist.
I will also say that as Toby did a cool 10-minute ritual, it is a standard roll.
Okay. 7.
Success at a cost. So you do take stress. I'm going to give you a d6 worth of, I'm going to say echo stress.
I have a 1 protection.
Excellent. So you take 3 echo stress.
And
I
that
subtracted
is-
1.
Okay.
As something about the heart itself is not sure it is on board with this, right? As you are skipping, you know what I mean? Like you are,
Yeah.
and maybe it is, maybe it's not, but it just feels like a little bit like pushback. So add 3 echo stress and then roll me a fallout test. No fallout.
Would I also
Um,
be taking that stress since I assisted?
Did you assist?
Yeah.
Then yes, you would. But you would be at 4 echo stress. and then roll me a Fallout test. You take minor Fallout. This is going to be Echo Fallout.
I will look into it.
So look up an Echo Fallout for me on page 80, and then in a minute you can tell me what it looks like or whatever. All of you are standing in this shadowy echo of reality.
Welcome
if
to the
you've been-
gray.
Has Toby ever taken anyone here into the gray before?
Yeah. Because sometimes there are spirits in the gray. And so families have paid him to travel to the gray to try and find lost loved ones before.
In this case, when you step through, you see a bunch of people waiting in line that stretch through that narrow tunnel. They're all sort of like just sort of standing there, you know, with like hands on their face, look incredibly bored.
Excuse me.
The tunnel that you just came through looks more like a hallway in an office building on this side of things.
Is this the DMV?
Yes.
No, not the Vermisian DMV.
I don't know if I've got my social or my passport. Shit.
Where the spider web was, there's nothing. It is just you'd have to get, around these people, and sort of like, you kind of have to excuse me, sneak right past you, and sort of shuffle past them. But you can do that.
Oh, the DMV's in the Midwest. Shit. Even worse. Oh, excuse me.
Is
Sorry.
this tunnel? Is the tunnel that we're in still is like in width? I know it's upside down. Is it still the same width?
It is similar. It's not like you can't measure it, but it's pretty. That's the word I'm looking for here. It's close, approximate.
Okay. You would notice that coming into the gray, as a party wise, that there's like a look of just frustration and annoyance on Wines at Wind's face.
Mm-hmm.
And he slowly takes his shield off of his back and puts it in front of him. And he looks at the rest of you as is almost like a face of contemplativeness. He says nothing, but it's just like the give and go face.
Mm-hmm. How's Elric doing?
Elric's not doing great. This it's
You're in an
disquieting.
afterlife.
Yep.
But he's got a fresh
Your
haircut.
extremities, your hands and your feet are numb and tingly, like they're asleep or that you've been sitting on them weird.
There's a familiarity to this. This waiting, this feeling of being here. And I think Jezzy would notice it first, that tenseness right after the haircut. As soon as the gray starts to creep in, it's something different. He shifts a bit.
She holds up the mirror. You don't like it? I thought it went well with your face shape.
What does
No,
Elric see in the gray when she holds up a mirror of his face?
Nothing. There is nothing. There is no reflection. I don't really get to stick around here very much. This is different.
It's not unpleasant, but you can feel yourself being pulled out of it, back to the material world. Shoebill, what's that fallout that you took?
Shubil is watching all of this happen. He shakes his head and his vision blurs slightly as the tunnel shifts in his eyes. I picked Deja Vu. You notice minor elements of your past life appearing in the heart as though it is reading your mind and adapting itself to your expectations. The GM tells you what happens.
Okay. your previous life, Bill was a storyteller, right? He was sort of a he
I ima-
traveled and collected histories.
I imagine in his younger years he was sort of like a scribe scholar, harkening on to he had his mentors and like studied where he
Mhm.
came from. And eventually, yeah, he did leave his home to go and collect stories.
One of the ghosts standing in line is not your primary mentor, the one who is central to you, but is somebody that you worked under. And here in this reality, they're left waiting, standing in a line, and they don't look at you or acknowledge you. They just look bored.
That is no way for anyone's story to end. And he'll turn and walk away.
So you all get past the place where the web was. What do you do now? Oh, here's the thing. It's easy for Toby to exit the grave. For anybody else, it's an a delve plus religion roll.
Oh, fun.
What if we have none of those?
Sorry, should I have mentioned that beforehand?
Yeah.
Son of a
yeah.
bitch.
Okay, this is gonna be great. So I still have the minor fallout of ringing head.
Yep.
So I have not rolled this entire session.
Nope.
So this
That's
roll
still in
is
that effect.
going to be dangerous. I also
Right.
don't have delve or religion.
So you're rolling with 0. So here's what happens in a situation like this. If you have no dice to roll, you can still always roll 1.
Okay.
But the only way that you succeed without stress is by rolling a 10.
Awesome.
Let's do everyone else's roll first. I want to see what everyone else's roll. We're going to save Jesse's for last. Toby doesn't need to roll. Toby goes and steps back over.
Yippee.
Isn't it nice for him?
Delve religion, right?
Delve religion. It's a standard roll this time.
Here we go. Hey.
10
Nice.
for Bill.
You did it. Shut
A 10
up.
for
Oh my
Anais.
God.
Go.
Damn it.
A 6 for Win. Still waiting on a few more.
Yes. So Elric,
Yes.
could he just wait? Could he just feasibly wait rather than make any particular effort towards
I
anything?
see what you're doing here. From a story perspective,
Uh-huh.
the Grey does not want you here.
Uh-huh.
I will tell you this: if it kicks you out, it's not going to be as pleasant.
Ooh, okay, okay. I wonder
If
what
it
he would do.
kicks you out, you're just going to take stress.
I feel like he would only try to step out after he sees if Jesse gets out or not. If Jesse doesn't get out, he'd stick around.
Okay. So he
Yeah.
waits to see what happens to Jesse first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feels so good. Okay. So I'm inputting delve and religion, of which I don't
Mhm.
have. And then on the extra die, I'm putting in -1, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And this is a... Oh, no, I don't have to put in the -1. I just have to put that it's dangerous. Okay.
Dangerous, yeah.
Right. Right. Or you can just roll 1d10.
Could I
That's the idea.
feasibly help with like an
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
What is going
Let's
on?
go.
Hey,
Amazing.
no,
That's 10.
we gotta go to Vegas.
Amazing.
We have to go to Vegas.
Amazing.
It's the
Jesse
scissors,
gets
guys.
the 10 on the scissor die.
It's
And-
our
It's our
scissors.
Scissors, baby.
Jesse, what does it look like? How does she stir up this resolve to jump back over?
I think there is no fear for herself.
Hmm.
there's fear for Larry and for the hive. And so I think she just even in her mind says to the heart, I don't care about me. I don't care about that. Just gotta take care of Larry, gotta take care of the girls. Come on. Come on. Let's do this. Come on.
Okay. And she just wills it, and you can feel these glyph marked bees inside of you like vibrate, right? And just like thrum as you step back over. Elric, what do you do?
Let's see.
You're the last one here.
Yeah, he nods and he starts to try to call the heart back over, like to call him over, trying
Okay.
to entice it. So let's see.
All right. It's still the standard roll for you.
Oh,
That's
whoops,
a
I
one. That's
clicked
critical
twice.
failure.
I clicked twice accidentally.
Oh no, it's an 8.
Uh-oh.
It's an 8.
Oh my gosh. Okay, an
I
8.
clicked twice.
All
I'm
right.
so sorry. Yeah.
You should be sorry. That was a standard Delve plus religion. Okay, so you did roll 1d10 there.
Yep.
Okay. The only one who takes fallout here is stress here is Wines.
Damn it.
Wines to the wind. You take 1 echo stress. Oh, it is like you pull a muscle. You get a Charlie horse. And then but I do need you to make me a fallout check.
Mm.
So add 1 stress to echo and then click the fallout test button.
Yes, sir.
No fallout. You all make it through. And you find yourselves standing on the far side of the web.
Toby just goes, thank you for flying into the Gray Airlines. The exits are here and here and here and
What's an
Wha-
airline?
What?
You know, like a sky whale.
Oh, good old Skywell. Wines would tap him on the back of his head with the shield as soon as he says that. Like, that was
Since we're going to
awful.
Vegas,
If
I think Jesse is going to turn around. So we're on the other side of the web, correct?
You are on the other side of the web. Yep.
I think Jesse takes out her hive tool. Is the equipment that was on my playbook at the start. It does not give a description. I'm kind of imagining it as one of those sharp little knives that like beekeepers will like cut down the wax to let the honey out.
Yeah.
And is going to use her perfect machine to try and cut this symbol out of the web without causing tension and repairing it.
Now, I'm going to read the description because I just love the way stuff is phrased. The perfect machine. I love the writing of this system in particular. Perfect machine. That is your minor ability.
Yes.
You see that cogs, gears, and engines are just echoes of the infinite, staggering majesty that is the hive. Given time, you can repair technological devices even if you don't have the right parts. You synthesize them from wax and extruded bone. How long does it take Jesse to do this?
Given that, depending on the size of this thing, she's not trying to reconnect it with the shape. She's just trying to connect these pieces without disturbing the web.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's going to take a couple minutes because she's literally got to like, you see a couple bees fly out. It almost looks like
trying to
she's
help.
flossing. Like she's just like pulling this material through her teeth out of her mouth with the aid of the bees.
So Jesse's making glue. Jesse is excreting patch up gunk. And you get, most of it back on, and just as you reach back in for another, you hear this sound of coming from like these little warren holes up on the wall.
Run, now
And
we run.
Then the sound of skittering and little tiny metallic feet.
Did I get the symbol out?
You have the symbol out, except for one last thing.
I'm gonna hack it and be like, run!
Okay, and you all turn and run. And does anyone not run? Does anyone stay and embrace the metal weaver spiders as their new friends? Okay, so everyone turns and starts, and again, single file, right? And so everyone is running. Who's in the lead? Because this person's going to make the roll here to see how this goes.
I would stay in the back. So
We're
there's no
talking
front.
evade.
Ooh.
Probably evade Warren, evade
Could I
something else.
magically do it?
What you
Conjure
got?
up a magical slipstream using evade occult?
I like evade occult. You can do that roll if you want to see if you can get like drifting, like you're behind a semi truck, like you're just
Basically making a wind wall of himself for the others to speed
okay.
up.
I'd be fine with that. Yeah, if
Honestly,
you want to do the roll here to see how it goes.
yeah,
What do you think,
go
Amber?
ahead. I was thinking evade occult as well, like with Anais kind of like still like high as fuck, like being
Mhm.
able to use the pulsating of the walls
Mm-hmm.
to
Embracing the heart energy that pulls you through. That would also be an option. I'll leave it up to you guys.
I'll be down to assist you in that.
That would be good.
yeah, since I helped you get out of that situation, that makes
Last
sense.
time, yeah.
Right, Amber, make me an evade occult. And after this, if you succeed at this, what we'll say is you will get to subtract the standard die from the delve plus that boon you've got. So
Oh,
this would
sick.
really hack away at the delve amount.
Okay.
That's
8?
an 8. Yes. So what does it look like? How do you get out of this tunnel here and keep the spiders way back there?
So I feel like Anais like kind of takes up the rear and to allow everybody else to run forward. And imagine like um has the picture of Bill about to get swallowed up by the heart itself, like
Yeah.
in the back of its mind. They rub their hands together as if like doing, as if like rubbing the paddles together for a defibrillator,
Yeah.
and then pull like slams its hands on the floor of the cavern, um and just tries to brute force like another wall of sticky web behind to hold up the spiders from getting through.
Excellent. And that ability you got, that's a D6 ability, right? So roll
Yes.
2d6 and we'll subtract it from the delve.
Yes.
I also wanted to add that Shubil jumps, turns,
Oh
hits
no.
Fuck.
power
Hey
cord.
guys.
Uh-oh. Well, could be worse.
So what
Hey,
does you
can I
build?
roll
I'm
like
sorry, I
actual
reacted to the
D6
die
and
roll.
then
Okay, I'm
just
sorry.
Yeah. Oh, he hits the power cord, and what looks like a score sheet goes over the web just to reinforce it.
Yes. Excellent. And eventually the spiders seem sort of like put off by all this, and you watch the last of them. You can make out one. There's plenty more behind it, but it's sort of like on little scissors backs up back into the cave, and then it looks at you, and goes right.
See me on my block.
And so you proceed. The delve is now at a 7, just because of some bad luck with rolls
Oof.
and stuff. But you continue on you're walking for hours. The tunnel is now at a comfortable width. It is back to being stone, typically like what it is. And eventually you come to a place where the tunnel stops, but there is it's an elevator. It's a stone elevator with a rope and pulley system above it. And there's a hole beneath it. And the only way to go would be down there, and that would be a technology roll, a delve technology, to know how to operate this contraption.
Pick me, Daddy. Pick me. I have delve and technology.
Okay.
Yeah,
Or a
great.
little bit of both of them bad boys. I'll do one of those
Come
rolls.
on, train
I'm gonna go over to the place.
You've been trained in these contraptions.
Yes, I am a subway man. Give me a
Mhm.
token. So I will take a look at this wonderful contraption. As I do this roll, is there any lever mechanics? Is there a power that is to this already? Does it already look like it has power?
It looks like it doesn't rely on electricity. It probably just relies on physics, but you have to know like the right order to do these. It's a bit of a puzzle. I've been playing blueprints all week long. It's a bit of a puzzle with like which order you do the levers in.
Okay.
And so like you'd have to be trained to know how to do it, but make the roll and we'll decide how it goes.
Gotcha. Just to make sure, Delta technology and any pluses onto that? Is that
It would be delve technology. It is standard, so I think that's it. Unless anyone else wants to take stress from failure,
I'll help.
I think
I shouldn't
okay.
fuck this up.
Jesse's got some skills in this, so delve technology +1 for you with Jesse's help.
Hell
That
yeah.
one looks rusty. Just be careful. I'll keep an eye.
Oh,
Ooh, an
Best
8. There we
night.
go. Yes. There is a moment where all of you, it's just big enough to fit 6. So you're all like in there, and it starts going down with a ka-chunk, ching, and you start lowering, and then there's a moment where it stops and drops like half a foot, and all of you go, and it keeps going. And when it comes to a rest, it's with the sound of stone connecting with metal. And all around you, you hear not only the sound of wind through tunnels, which you're used to by now, but also what seems like the sound of humming and maybe the distant sound of a train whistle or the rumble on a track. And you look down, and there beneath you are tracks heading in 2 different directions as you've entered a Vermissian tube. These haunted echoes of failed technology and arcane magic. Which way do you go? Just as a suggestion, you might want to check with the knight on this one, with the most experience in the Vermissian. Can you make a roll for me, Derek?
Oh,
It would be delve tech,
Delve
technology. Yeah,
Don't take more.
delve tech.
Oh, standard, right?
Yeah, this is standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6.
This is unfamiliar territory. And you look for signs. You think you might be connected to the pulse line, which is one of the different lines of the Vermissian symbol system that runs through the heart.
Mhm.
But there are rumors of lines down here that don't exist. It gets weird, you know? And as you sort of look around you, you start to remember these stories you heard about cursed trains that flash through empty stations with the faces of passengers starving behind the windows, staring hungrily out, eager, desperate to disembark. But you think you've got the right direction. You think it's only one way or the other, right? And so you pick one with some confidence. But when that happens, you take 4 mind stress under the pressure of having to decide this for the group. So take 4 mind and then roll me another fallout check. resolute in your decision.
Wines turns to the rest of the group. I hope you have your subway ticket, shitasses. It's about to get fucking good. And he just like kind of jumps down from the platform onto the track and starts walking towards that one direction.
So here's my question. Did you want to find this place Coin Pit, or are you specifically looking for your final, well, not your final, but your intended destination of the Eastern Express? And I'm asking that to the entire group.
Adventure or adventure?
It's basically the question, right?
Right.
I
Where are
mean-
you intending to go?
I want to know why they call it Coin Pit,
And
but
our buddy the ghost suggested it.
Yeah, and we would help put his soul to rest if we went there.
Retrace his steps and
I love to gamble. This is good.
I'm quite fond of the ghosts. I take their word on it. Let's go.
He did recommend going by way of Coin Pit, and so that's the direction you're heading. Derek, roll me a d6, and we're going to subtract it from the delve. The delve's at a 7 right now, so it could get you down all the way to 1 with a good roll.
I lied.
Well, you just typed in 1d6.
Yeah, so what do I get, DM? What do I get? All right,
Nothing.
I should
You
know.
get nothing,
It's
sir.
R//1d6.
It's slash R
Thanks, Dad.
space 1d6.
1d6. I appreciate
Or
Hey,
Oh.
Hey,
we should go
we
to
are
Vegas.
going to Vegas.
you guys have had some amazing rolls, which is great because otherwise you'd just be in this tunnel forever and the show would never go anywhere, right? You head down this way, and some odd things catch your attention in certain parts of the tunnel. On the upper levels, maybe this isn't as unusual, but way deep down here, because you feel like maybe you're reaching tier 2 of the heart. Way deep down here, it's unusual to see that several walls down here have been decorated. There are what appears to be paint, but they're composing these almost bubble-like letters with odd words on them. For example, there's one that says toaster in a big, like a big cartoony writing. There's another one that says Demon 8, but it's DAEMON and then a big 8 on it. And there's one that says Mad Forks. And you realize that people are writing their names on the walls in some sort of paint. But you keep walking. And eventually, you see a light up ahead. And as you get closer, it's pretty bright. And the train tracks there are intersected by a platform standing next to them. And Wines would believe we've reached a station of the Vermissian line. So you approach, and Eric, make me a check here that is a discern technology. I want you to just sort of be on, as the leader in this section feels like, just to be on the lookout for what you're approaching. Maybe what station it is, maybe something like that.
Understood. A 5.
There's a smell on the wind that is foreign. It is an alien smell. And by that, I mean it is astringent and sharp. It smells a little like lemon? or maybe like a pine tree, but it's harsh and it feels like it's covering something up. You know what I mean? Like somebody put that smell on top of a worse smell.
Mm,
And
bad parfum.
I'm going to give you another bit of stress here for that failure. 2 mind stress again.
Could I utilize my ability collateral to move that stress to an ally?
You sure can. Who do you want to push that onto? And what does it look like?
Suck on it. Where's it? No, hold on. Give me a second here. Ooh, hey.
I can take it.
You gonna take it? Go
I can
for
take
it.
it.
Go for it. Given. I was gonna give it to you. I was gonna give it to Toby.
Okay. So what does it look like for Jezzy to take the stress of you not knowing what's weird about this station that you're coming up on?
Oh, I think he just grabs me by my collar again and kind of shakes me around a little bit.
You smell that shit? Why does it smell like that?
I don't know. It kind of smells like the stuff my mom would use to clean. Why? My head hurts.
It sounds like
Um,
my grandma's closet before she
Greg, I
does
still need
laundry.
a Fallout test from you, I think. Even though you didn't take the stress, I want to see how you do with a Fallout test. Okay. You will slowly approach. And when you get there, there is like Derek. Wines has heard about stations like Grin Station. Grin Station is a station where the Elfir built an amusement park, and so it's basically a haunted carnival. You've heard of stations like Sump Station, which is completely submerged underwater. It is drowned. You've heard of other stations that are twisted and broken and wrong. This station is clean. Other than the paint you saw on the walls, there are metal benches. There is a sign next to a set of double wide stairs pointing up the stairs saying coin pit this way. But as you round the corner and get a look, like you're like eye level with the floor of this station, you know? Like you're coming out of a subway.
Yeah.
There are these 2 metal closet type boxes up against one wall. One of them has a brightly colored front facade with a design on it of primary colors and buttons down the side. The other one appears to be glass in the front, and through it you can see small bags that advertise food. And then next to them is, well, the bags are like heart's flesh and potato nubbins and munchums. And there's a little hole on that one that would fit a coin. And then next to them, there is a door with no signage on it leading somewhere else. But the most disturbing thing of all is in the middle of the floor, between the benches, by the stairs, away from the vending machines, is an umbrella. And that's where we're going to end this week's episode.
Why?
Why do this?
Rain.
And
There's no rain. We're underground. What does it mean?
I want to open up the umbrella inside of the tunnel, please.
and we'll be back next week for the episode, which I'm sure is going to be titled "Why an Umbrella" or something like that.
Wines at an umbrella.
The umbrella of destiny, or something along those lines. What
Umbra's
a great
umbrella.
episode of delving and stuff like that. You're almost to your first destination of CoinPit, and I mean, if you get out of this suspiciously clean and well-maintained train station alive. But before we say goodbye for the week, let's go around and talk to our cast one last time, who I love and appreciate very much. Let's start with Ali. Ali, my friend.
Yes.
I loved the scene that you had with Gregorius, with the ancient ghost, because you were asking questions that I think that Elric keeps inside a lot, and you got to have a non-answer from a ghost that either doesn't know or can't communicate it. in a way.
Yeah.
And so I hope that was rewarding for you. Tell everyone who you are, where we might find you elsewhere, or what else you've got going on.
Yeah, I'm Ollie. I don't really exist very well in the social media realm of things. Aside from playing on Cowboy Land and here, you might not see too much of me otherwise. But yeah,
A great places to be, Cowboy Land in here, usually.
agreed.
Or playing Power Washer with me and Millie,
That's true.
but that's not online. It's just us playing Power Wash. Simulator. Let's step on over to our friend Amber. Hi, Amber. I bet you're sleepy.
I am very sleepy. It's 11
Okay.
p.m., but we're thriving. Hi, everybody. I'm Amber, also known as. Wait, hold on. What?
You're nailing it. You got it so far.
Okay. Wait, hold.
Who
Fuck.
are you?
God damn it.
Where can we find
Ugh.
you? What day
You
is
can
it?
find me. That's a great question. You can find me anywhere there's internet at the Space Jamber. You can also find. I mean, shit. Uh, I'm not in anything exciting right now. So
Um,
except this.
yeah.
Except this. Except
Except
this.
this.
But hey, would you like an Any nominated and Any winning writer and editor to work on your project?
Yes.
I'm unemployed. You can hire me. You can email me at thespacejamber@gmail.com or just, hit me up wherever. And we can talk because I would like your money. Thank you.
Please give Amber your money. Amber, my Anais moment of the week was her eating the wall
Yeah.
and then
Sometimes you just
tripping
gotta eat a
balls
wall.
and becoming one with the heart. And it was great.
Did the
So good.
snozberries taste like snozberries?
Oh yeah, uh-huh.
Okay, good.
Like strawberry basil.
Ooh.
Delightful.
Hmm.
Let us descend from there to Sid. Sid, my jazzy moment of this week was putting that dream into your reality and seeing you react to it, and trying to figure out how do you retrieve something that you want from a spider's web. Like, how do you remove that surgically? And I think that it was a great little moment of it. It's just a metal spider's web, and ooh, it's like putting a chair in a room for a Dungeons and Dragons group and asking them to react to the chair.
What does
You
that
know.
mean? What does it mean?
Sid, what else do you have going on?
Yeah, other than loveliness here, on Mondays and Saturdays, I'm over on twitch.tv/game nights. That's 2 G's and a K. On Saturdays, I play with RJ, a lovely game of Blades in the Dark, where I am a mastermind, madam of a brothel who, also runs a gang of, spies, espionage, good stuff. So yeah, come check that out.
Awesome. Thank you, Sid. Speaking of RJ, it's RJ. RJ, I'm trying to think. You had a lot of great Bill moments this week. I loved you showing off the guns for the ghosts. I loved. Uh, there was a lot of. I felt like there was a lot of clicking for Bill this week of like, oh, there are answers out there for how I got this way and why something happens in the future, and I need to follow those answers. And you did that really well. I love watching Bill chase stories. So, what else do you have going on?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ. You can catch me at RJustice282 on all my socials. As Sid said, you can catch me over at GGK on Saturdays where we play Blades in the Dark. If you thought I was a Chaos Gremlin here, I am definitely a Chaos Gremlin over there. On Mondays over on the Indoor Adventures where we do a D&D 4th edition game based in a Wild West setting where gold equals magic power. We are going to kill a storm giant that is messing with an entire mountainside.
Wow, that's intriguing. I love that. Well, thank you for being here for this, and everyone go check that out as well. All of our cast, go see their shows and hire them for work and give them money. Benji, there is nothing better than a dead walker taking a group into the gray and not telling them that it's not 100% that they'll get back out. Um, and thank you for doing that. That was my
Oops.
moment of the week for Benji, for Toby. You have anything else happening you want to plug?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Benji. You can find me online at Chance47 on all the socials, and on Saturdays you can catch me at the Geek Life where we stream various TTRPGs right now. We're doing a little D&D, but we just did some Cyberpunk, and we're going to be doing some World of Darkness this summer. So check me out there on Saturdays.
Wonderful. Thank you for being here, and thank you for Toby. Derek, a couple things, a couple great
Gee.
moments tonight. First, I'm so glad that we got your mic working. That's number one.
I know.
Number
I know.
two, the campfire talk between Wines and Jesse was great from both of you, like so good. It was juicy, and then I got to put you in the Vermisian, so I
Yes.
was looking forward to that too. Derek, talk about yourself and what else you want to promote.
Yeah, shameless plug, shameless plug. Hello,
yeah,
my
plug,
name
plug,
is
plug.
my name is Derek from Atop Derek Mountain, where I play games and do the geek stuff and stuff. You can find me on that name and anywhere and everywhere on every single platform. Where you can hopefully find something that will put a smile onto your face. I play on Cowboy Land, Wild RP. Play a slew of characters from Jengwei all the way to Wachuge to D-Lo motherfucker Bunky Brown, as well as also I'll be playing the hell out of Oblivion Remaster this week, which is just going to be the best and tickle all of 2006 Derek nostalgia. It's going to be great. Yeah, also in the next 2 weeks, you can actually catch my brown ass on The Walking Dead Season 2 of Dead City, which is going to be a lot of fun. So hopefully you can catch I'm somewhere, a zombie in there somewhere, and then I'm also
You're in a
an
horror
extra
somewhere
character
in there?
I'm somewhere in there, yeah. No, it was a
I
good time.
just binged the first season of Dead City and I love it. So
It's great.
I'll be watching it for sure.
Hell yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for being here. Special thanks to High Shelf and also to Holly and Eve for helping with tech tonight and all their hard work. We love them. Everybody, if you're not a part of the Discord, go ahead and join the Discord and stick around. I'm guessing we'll probably do a raid of some kind. So nope, no raid. Okay, Holly says no. Nope, we're just gonna go to black. All right.
The fade to
So
black?
Oh hell
we're
yeah.
gonna,
Second
we're gonna
scissor?
fade to black. I'm Doc Rimbo.
Everyone's
I've been your
first
games
scissor.
master. We'll be back next week
Scissors.
to solve the mystery of the umbrella. See you then. Bye.